A special guest that we have here on the New You Show. It's my very good friend, Ramanda. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shay. It's such a pleasure to be here.
I am so excited that she's here with us today, and she is one of our dream chasers. And for you at the New You Home community, you understand that you too have a dream, and here on the show, we help to make things happen. And Ramanda's going to share her dream with us today. So Ramanda, I have a bunch of questions for you. So first I have to say you look fabulous. Doesn't she at home? Fabuloso.
Thank you.
So when did you pick this up? Today, I'm sure?
Yes, today actually on my lunch break.
On your lunch break? You
Yeah.
are quite the shopper, aren't you?
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely
You do.
love it.
You
yeah.
do. And how did you get into shopping so much?
Oh gosh, growing up with five older sisters.
Five
and
sisters.
Yeah, and having, to go out and just spend some time. It was a lot of quality time spent together with the girls, and we just dressed each other. And I was the
Right.
youngest, so most of the time I was getting dressed. And then it's like the older I got, I started to shopping and
Yourself.
doing it myself. Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
I love it. I love
I would
it.
imagine you get so many compliments, I'm sure, because you always look so fabulous.
Aw.
So kudos to you,
Thank
Ramanda.
you. Thank you.
We are so excited that
Thank
you're here,
you.
and hopefully you're going to help other people with their dreams today. And their dream might be, right, to look fabulous and look as chic as you do.
Aw.
But while you're here today, I really wanted you to share a little bit about your dreams. And so as you think about this year, it's 2014.
Yeah.
Did you sit around at the beginning of the year and think about the kind of dreams that you had as you thought about, okay, my New Year's resolutions or things in my life that I wanted to do right now? Did you have like a
Absolutely.
plan of certain dreams you wanted to accomplish this year? And if so, share it with our New You community.
My dream is to be a mother, something that is just dear to my heart. I grew up with a large family. I'm the stepmother of 5 boys, and they are the loves of my life. It's all
5 boys. That's like a
boys.
basketball team, y'all.
Yes,
right.
it is.
Wow.
And being a biological mother is just something that I am passionate about. It's something that is will complete me.
So how old were the kids when you inherited them into your life?
They were all elementary school. I had one that was going to 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
So now I have one that's graduating in May.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Yes,
So
and then
time-
I'll have a senior, and then right now they'll be in 6th and 7th grade.
Oh my goodness. And so you've been a mom in a way, but you've never been through the pregnancy phase.
Correct.
And while you probably love those 5 boys, your whole basketball team
I
to
do.
pieces,
I do.
they must be a mess and a riot of fun and wonderful, I'd imagine,
Yes.
especially you've been able to be in their lives. I could imagine, too, what it must feel like for you to want to have that experience of going through that whole process of birth and labor and pregnancy all
Right.
your own.
Yeah.
And so did you try before, like before you had this new love relationship and this new family, had you been trying to have a child prior to that or no?
No, it never dawned on me. I've always prayed for my husband first.
Mhm.
So when I got with my husband, we tried to have our first child, and we were able to conceive, and I had ectopic pregnancy,
Okay.
and then it was an emergency surgery that I had to go through.
So for our viewers at home,
Mhm.
first tell us, were you able to conceive easily, and did you know that you were going to have problems in your pregnancy, or did you think it was going to be an easy pregnancy? Tell us, was it easy to get pregnant, and how did you feel? Excited?
Oh my God, my first pregnancy, when we found out, we were absolutely thrilled. We were excited. We thought it was going to be a regular pregnancy.
Sure.
All of my siblings, all 8 of my siblings have children. So my mom is waiting for me. It's like, okay, babe, like, come on now, waiting for you. So when we found out, it was such a blessing, and we were so excited.
Of course.
And we called everyone, and they were excited for us, the family and the friends. One evening, I started cramping really, really bad. And it was to a point where I couldn't get out the bed. I was in bed because I had to work the next day. So I was already in bed. And I just started to cramp, and I was like, babe, something's not right. So I didn't want to go to the hospital.
Sure.
But then when it was difficult for me to even turn over that evening. He was like, okay, let's just go to the hospital just to see if everything is okay.
And how many months were you at this time, or weeks were you? How far along in the pregnancy were you?
I was 10 weeks.
Wow,
I was
10 weeks. So for those of you at home who may have never been pregnant, that's around 2.5 months in terms of a pregnancy. And so you're still really in the first trimester, but 10 weeks is fairly far along.
Yes.
So what happened next? You were cramping, you were not feeling good, you woke up your honey bun, and then you really didn't want to go to the hospital, but what did you do?
Well, he made me go.
Yeah, and I would say that was the right choice.
Absolutely.
So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
And then what happened next?
We got to the hospital, and once we got there, we went to the back we went to ER, and from the ER, the doctor came in after she did the sonogram, and she seen the baby inside my tube, which is an ectopic pregnancy, when your baby begins to form inside your tube. So the doctor came in after she did the sonograms, and she advised me that my baby was growing inside my tube, which is an ectopic pregnancy, when they meet and begin to become one.
Right, within that. And so instead of traveling from the fallopian tubes all the way into the uterus and implanting into the womb, it actually stayed in the tubes.
Correct.
And it started to grow in the tubes. And
Correct.
for those of you at home, it's very dangerous and serious for the mother. And I'm not an MD, but my mother went through a similar situation too. And I remember hearing about her story and researching it. It must have been so tough for you.
Oh my gosh. I've never been through a surgery. I've never had surgery any time in my life. And for me to know that I'm pregnant, for you to actually get the sense and the feel of the child, and then immediately that child is taken away from you. Yeah, I'm crying. Wait.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So, for that child to be immediately taken away from you, I'm the only child here. I have my little brother, he's from Tallahassee, he lives in Tallahassee, but he was here at the time. So it was just me, my little brother, my sister-in-law, and my husband. That's all who I had, and I had my mother on the phone, and my sisters, we was all on three-way, so it was like 7 of us on the phone.
Wow.
And we began to pray.
Right.
Because without my family, I was just devastated. You know, we grew up really, really close. We grew up really, really close. So without my family, I was just devastated. And my husband was there. I have the most amazing husband. Let me say that first.
Thank God, that's awesome.
I do. I have the most amazing husband. And he was there from day one. And he held my hand. And what I do remember is going into the OR. I remember going into the OR, and he was there, and then I don't remember anything else except waking up and he's still there.
Wow, what an amazing story of love during one of the roughest times that you probably have experienced. But from what you told me before, it doesn't stop there. Your story continues. And so you got through a very tough place. Your family was with you. Your loved one was with you. Sounds like he was great all throughout, which is a blessing despite the tragedy.
Right.
And it sounds like, too, that baby didn't survive.
Correct.
You survived, thank God, and some women don't survive that type of pregnancy.
That's true.
So that's a blessing in and of itself.
That's true. So the doctor actually said if I had not come to the hospital when I did, my tube would have ruptured because the baby was growing normally. It just was not in the uterus where it is supposed to implant. So the baby was growing normally, but it was making, your tube is the size, oh my God, it's not even the size of a pinky.
Sure,
Yeah.
right.
So
And it's not meant to expand
exactly.
for a baby. When a baby
Exactly.
is born, I mean, babies are, 21 inches long
Exactly.
and they're anywhere from, 6 to 12 pounds
Right.
if you have a really big baby. And so
Correct.
it would not be able to survive there.
Correct.
And then more than that, it'd be pressing on your organs and could cause you all kinds of problems.
Absolutely. I haven't read about anyone who's actually survived a ectopic pregnancy and their baby still lived.
Right, I haven't either.
So-
I haven't either. So you are a miracle sitting here right now.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, you
Yeah.
are.
So, and actually when they did remove the baby, they did remove my tube. So it was a piece of me gone away.
Mm.
My very first surgery, and it was hard. I was out for 6 weeks. My mother, she came down from
Mhm.
Georgia. She came down,
Mhm.
and she was so thrilled the way my husband took care of me because I'm my mama's baby.
Oh, wow.
And all of you out there who know your mama's baby, mom has to be there. So
That's right.
I'm her baby. And, she came down. She thought she was going to have to stay the 6 weeks. She stayed 4 days.
Oh, wow.
And she said, she wrote me this letter that I still have.
Mm.
So she wrote me a letter. And she was gone before I woke up because, I would have just wanted her to stay with me.
Of course.
So she wrote me this beautiful letter before she left. And when I woke up, my husband was there, but my mother had went back to Georgia. And she just explained to me in the letter how wonderful my husband was,
Oh,
and that,
that
and
is
that
such a
she didn't need to be here because he was doing such a
Absolutely,
good job.
absolutely.
So,
She came down to be by your side,
She
and she
did.
was by your side, but
She
she
was.
realized your husband had it all taken
Yep,
care of.
that's
And
true.
kudos out to you, husband, wherever you are, because that speaks volumes, and not every woman has it like that. That's awesome.
that's true.
And so your journey continues, and part of what I really want you to share, because there's so many other women at home that probably have gone through this, and it's
Yeah.
not just the woman, it's the men too,
That's true.
that go through this journey of trying to have a baby,
Correct.
going through tragic situations like you did. What happened next? So that was one time,
Mhm.
and then did you try again ever to have another child with
Oh,
your husband?
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
did the same things continue to happen, or were there
Yes.
different issues? Okay.
Yeah, it was the same thing. From the time that you take your pregnancy test
Mhm.
and it says you're positive, you're excited.
Yeah, you
And
are.
just
You
imagine knowing because of what happened previously that it could happen again.
Right.
And so I took that moment, I took those weeks that I was pregnant, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed, putting my feet up and until the pain come and I knew I had to go to the hospital.
Got it. Wow.
So
Wow. Imagine that at home for a minute. Just
Yeah.
thinking about the blessing, but then having that little bit of fear as you work through something like this where you're living in bliss for a little while, but you also know that one day soon there's going to be a time that's a very tough time that you have to go through. So you are also a hero, because that must have been like something else to have to be waiting and expecting that that day
Mhm.
might come, that things might not work out the way you intended.
that's true.
And so this year in 2014, I heard you're on a new journey.
I am.
So tell our viewers at home about it, because I'm so excited about it. So tell us.
Well, due to the fact that the ectopics continued, they removed both of my tubes. So I don't have the fallopian tubes for the baby to travel to get to the uterus. So in vitro fertilization is our option, our only option.
Thank God for science and technology,
Exactly,
right? Thank God for
exactly.
that, okay? So you decided to do in vitro. Now, was that going to be your only option given that you didn't have the tubes anymore?
Or surrogate.
Or a surrogate, okay,
Yeah, but-
perfect. But you wanted to do in vitro
Yeah.
because you want to carry, because for a surrogate mother, the surrogate mother carries.
Correct.
But for in vitro, you,
Correct.
the mom-to-be, gets
Yeah.
to carry and still actually go through the whole pregnancy process. And
Yes.
so when did you guys make this decision, and what is it going to take?
Well, we made the decision when they removed, we was in the waiting room for OR, and we knew that that was going to be our only option. So the doctor spoke with us and said, okay, y'all have to make a decision. we can remove the baby and keep the tube, and she's just going to continue to have ectopics, or we can remove the tube. So at that moment, she said, y'all will still be able to conceive. You just have to do it through in vitro
Got
fertilization.
it. So once you planted that seed, you guys started
Absolutely.
doing your part. I'm sure
Absolutely.
it sounds like you're a praying family, so you started
Yes.
praying and speaking on that
Yes.
thing. And
Yes.
then you decided that this year was going to be your year?
Yes.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes.
And so
So-
what does the whole process entail for
Oh,
those
gosh.
of our viewers at home? What is
A lot of money. A lot of money.
I would
Yeah.
imagine. And so do you have to see a special doctor? Do you have to do a lot of prep work? And
Yes.
how long does the process take to actually try for the in vitro process? Tell us.
Well, what happens is, for you who don't know, in vitro fertilization is when they take the sperm and the egg and they put it in the dish.
So what happens next? So how do you prepare for in vitro? What exactly happens? Tell the viewers at home, what's the process like? I mean, it's just so exciting. So
Yes.
please do tell us.
It's very, very exciting to know that there is another option out there that, I'll still be able to carry my own child. It's just so amazing.
Yes.
So what happens is, first of all, it's a lot of money. For those of you who don't know, it is a lot of money for the in vitro fertilization. And it's called IVF for short. So I'll be using that term IVF.
Okay,
Yeah.
IVF. Okay,
IVF,
got it.
So the doctor takes my eggs and takes the sperm and puts them into
The sperm of your husband, right?
Yes, yes.
Just in
Yes.
case Honey Bun's listening, I want to make sure we're all
Exactly.
clear. Okay, good, perfect. Okay.
So they put them in a petri dish where they are fertilized, and 3 days later, they put the fertilized egg inside
Into
of your uterus.
Wow, so it takes 3 days
Mhm.
for that baby to form. And once that baby's formed, they're going to put it with its mom.
Yes.
How exciting
That's
is
the
that?
fun part.
And then once that happens, the
2
whole
days,
2
and
days.
you take a pregnancy test.
2 days and you take
Yes.
and you take the pregnancy test, and the pregnancy test looks for a hormone called HCG,
Mhm.
human chronic gonadotropin, which is so awesome, and that's the hormone that says, "Yep, I'm pregnant."
Yay.
And so it's so exciting because we here on the New You Show, we're going to be fans and supporters of Ramanda on her journey towards
And
IVF.
I'm so excited.
And towards being a mommy biologically, because she's already a mommy with 5 boys,
Yes.
but she's going to now have her own child. We're just with you, believing, putting our faith with you. We are so excited to be part of the journey. So when are you going to do it?
We are looking at September.
Oh my gosh, just a few
I
short months
know,
away.
I
I'm so
know.
excited for you.
So we're looking at September. We're gonna do it in New York.
So why New York when we're in Tampa?
Well,
Is that where the best doctors are? Do tell me. 'cause-
well, that's where the best price was, price-wise.
Good.
So for
Because this is not cheap. Thousands
No.
of dollars. We're not even
Yes.
going to tell you the price, but
Yes.
thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So you guys are having to plan and budget,
Yes.
but you've done a lot of research. You've
Yes.
identified the right person.
Correct.
So September is just a few months away. So I am so excited for you. Are you nervous at all?
No,
Good for
I'm
you.
happy.
Good for you.
I'm happy. I'm thrilled about the whole, just everything. You know, my kids are even excited.
Of
They have
course.
their little schedules like, okay, mom, because we're going to, they will implant 2 eggs.
Yes.
Usually, based on your age, they'll implant 2 at the most for me,
Mhm.
which is okay.
Mhm.
So they're going to implant 2 eggs, and I'm hoping and praying that both of them do take. Because I only want to experience this once. I don't want to have to, go through this again with the monies and just everything. So I'm hoping that we'll do 2, and both of them will take, so I can have my set of twins,
Oh my
and I'll be
gosh.
done.
Wow.
I'll be a mommy of twins, and I'm done.
Well, we are believing with you,
I'm
and I'm so
thrilled.
excited. And I cannot say the viewers at home are with you too, praying and believing that this dream will come to pass. We know that you've made every effort, and who is more deserving than anyone who truly is passionate about wanting a child?
Yes.
And so for those of you at home that might be in Ramanda's shoes, you're one too that have a dream of being a mommy, a biological mommy. I would love for you to share with us your story like Ramanda did today, which was so brave. But Ramanda being here helped a lot of you at home. If you're at home and this is you, do it. Create a plan, get together with that special loved one in your life, start working on a budget, do your research.
Absolutely.
And most of all, don't give up.
That's
It's
it.
never too late to chase your dream.